Okay? And are therefore carbapenem resistant. Ayun yung mga tinatawag na CRE, no? Carbapenem resistant enterobacterales. Right? And sabi ko kanina, one good example is Klebsiella pneumoniae, because Klebsiella pneumoniae or certain strains of Klebsiella pneumoniae produce carbapenemases. Okay, the so-called KPC, Klebsiella pneumoniae carbapenemase or carbapenemases. Okay, so that's it. We now continue with our discussion. Okay na tayo? May questions pa ba about biochemical tests? Wala na? Okay, so in your handout, you have this flow chart or dichotomous keys leading to the identification of specific species or members of order Enterobacterales. Okay, and you are seeing here some of the biochemical tests that we just talked about. And foremost is, of course, TSI-agar, right? So, because it's very useful, no, in classifying the members of Enterobacterales in terms of their ability to ferment lactose or both glucose and lactose or glucose only. Yeah, for non-lactose fermenters, glucose only. For lactose fermenters, both lactose and glucose. Okay, so here are the possible TSI reactions again. Okay, so it could be K/A, H2S positive, and this reaction is again produced by Proteus species in general, Salmonella species or serotypes, Citrobacter frondiae, and Edwardsia latarda. Okay, and because all of these are also aerogenic, so we encircle the A there, okay, para mas accurate yung result, yung report. Okay, so K/A with gas, H2S positive, consistent with Proteus species, Salmonella species, Citrobacter frondiae, Edwardsia latarda. Okay, another TSI pattern or reaction pattern is A/A, H2S positive. And this is typical of Citrobacter frondiae and Salmonella arizonae after 48 hours of incubation. Okay? Because remember that these are late lactose fermenters. Di ba? Oh, kaya you may notice that there is Salmonella here and there is Citrobacter frondiae here. Di ba? Kasi initially, they are K/A. And then, if you prolong the incubation, fermentation is completed and they show an A/A reaction. Okay? And both are also aerogenic, so we also encircle the A there. Yeah. So A/A with gas, H2S positive. Right? And it could be just K/A. Ibig sabihin, negative for H2S. No need to indicate H2S negative. So if you don't write H2S positive, so that's understood. Okay? Na negative yan sa H2S. Right? And it may be positive or negative for gas. Okay? So some of these are gas producer. Okay? Yung iba, anaerogenic. So kaya K/A or K/A with gas. Okay? So Providencia, Morganella, Citrobacter are gas producers. Okay? Shigella species and most Serratia species are anaerogenic or negative for gas. Okay? So kaya K/A itong Shigella Serratia. And then K/A with gas yung first three there. Okay? And Escherichia coli, Klebsiella species, Enterobacter, Serratia, A/A or A/A with gas. Right? Because again, Serratia or most Serratia species are anaerogenic. Right? And notice again that there is serratia here, K over A, and there's again serratia here, A over A. Because just like Citrobacter prondii and Salmonella arizonei, serratia is also late lactose fermenter. Diba? So ito yung typical na lactose fermenters, and serratia is late lactose fermenter. Just like Citrobacter prondii and Salmonella arizonei, ang difference lang, of course, Citrobacter and Salmonella arizonei are H2S positive. Okay? So therefore, let's go back here sa first TSI reaction. K over A, H2 is positive, typical, again, of these species. So how do we distinguish among them? Okay? Because there is a member of tribe Proteae there. Diba? Proteus is one of the genera under tribe Proteae or family Morganellaceae. Okay? And we said kanina, no, that they're all deaminase positive. So a good test to distinguish Proteus from the other species is phenylalanine deaminase. Okay? Well, you can also do LIA, right? Because, of course, if you do LIA, R over A reaction yan, si Proteus. Okay? So, of course, Proteus is phenylalanine deaminase positive, and the other species here are negative. Okay? So, to further distinguish among Salmonella, Citrobacter prondii, and Edwardsiella, you may do lysine decarboxylase, LDC, using Moeller's broth, or again, alternatively, you can do LIA. Okay? So, Salmonella and Edwardsiella are LDC positive, while Citrobacter prondii is LDC negative. Okay? So, na-identify na natin si Proteus, na-identify na si Citrobacter prondii. To distinguish between Salmonella and Itarda, you may perform indole, because Itarda is indole positive, while Salmonella species or serotypes are indole negative. Okay? So, now, for organisms producing A over A with gas H2S positive reaction, so again, dalawa lang yan, no? Citrobacter prondii and Salmonella arizonei. Although, if you still remember, this morning I said, Proteus vulgaris may also produce this reaction, but that is due to sucrose fermentation. Kaya hindi ko na siya sinama dito eh. Okay? Doon sa original source nito, kasama si Proteus vulgaris doon. Pero to avoid confusion, because hindi naman siya late lactose fermenter, kaya lang siya nag-A over A because of its ability to ferment sucrose. Okay? Let us not anymore include Proteus here. Right? So, to distinguish between Citrobacter prondii and Salmonella arizonei, you may again perform LDC. Kamukha dito sa baba, di ba? Yun din yun eh, di ba? O Salmonella versus Citrobacter prondii. Okay? So ito din yun. LDC, lysine decarboxylase, or LIA. You may alternatively just perform LIA. Okay? And of course, Salmonella or most Salmonella serotypes are LDC positive, and again, Citrobacter prondii is LDC negative. Okay? Now, if you get a K over A reaction, okay, with or without gas, so consider again the following organisms, and because there are two members of tribe Proteae there, or family Morganellaceae, again, very useful ang phenylalanine deaminase. Because, paulit-ulit ako, walang ibang genera na positive sa deaminase except the members of the tribe Proteae. So, automatic, maseparate mo si Providencia and Morganella, okay? And to further distinguish between the two, you may perform citrate. Providencia species are positive in citrate test, while Morganella morganii yields a negative result. Okay? And for the other species, Citrobacter shigella serratia, okay, because shigella is non-motile, diba? It's one of the non-motile members of Enterobacterales, then you can just perform motility testing. For those that will test negative for the aminase, okay, you can just perform motility testing. And of course, Shigella species are non-motile, while Citrobacter and Serratia are motile. Okay? And therefore, hindi pa resolve ito, no? Yung Citrobacter and Serratia. Kasi we have to perform further workup to distinguish between the two. Okay? And you may perform LDC. So, pwedeng LDC, lysine decarboxylase. Okay? Pwede din ang DNase. Diba? DNase. Right? You may also perform gelatinase. Diba? DNase, gelatinase. There. Because in these tests, Serratia is positive. Diba? Serratia is positive. If you should remember, diba? DNase and gelatinase, Serratia talaga yan. And Serratia is also LDC positive. Right? So positive for all three of these tests, LDC, DNase, gelatinase. Hindi man kailangan na tatlo yung i-perform mo kahit isa lang dyan. Okay? And Citrobacter species are negative in these tests. Okay? Citrobacter species, negative lysine decarboxylase, DNase, and gelatinase. Okay? And for the organisms that produce A over A reaction, so again, these include the typical lactose fermenting organisms and Serratia species. Okay? So, first, you may perform the INVIC tests, okay, which again include 4 biochemical tests: indole, methyl red, Bogsper-Schauer citrate. Okay, and this is the typical E. coli reaction profile: positive, positive, negative, negative. Okay, so that would identify the isolate as Escherichia coli, and if it's negative, negative, positive, positive, then consider the other species. And because Klebsiella species, just like Shigella species, are mostly non-motile, you may just perform motility testing. Okay? So Klebsiella species, non-motile, and Enterobacter species and Serratia are motile. Of course, ang exception lang is erogenous. Na dating Enterobacter, ngayon Klebsiella erogenous na. Okay? So, kaya kasama pa siya dito. Kasi it used to be under Enterobacter species. So, motile yon. Alright? So, ngayon, if we will use the revised nomenclature or taxonomic classification of erogenous, is now Klebsiella. So, exception siya sa rules na ito. Okay? So, because it is motile. Okay? Pero for most isolates, okay, most Klebsiella species are non-motile, most Enterobacter species are motile, Serratia species are also motile, and again, you may perform this test. Ayan, DNA na naman yan. Okay? So, Serratia is positive, Enterobacter is negative. Okay? All right, so we now characterize the first 3 genera in general using common points of differentiation. Okay, key characteristics, colonial and biochemical characteristics, motility, TSI, LIA, INVIC reactions. Okay, so Escherichia coli is known for its production of greenish metallic sheen on EMB. Okay, greenish metallic sheen on eosine methylene blue agar. Okay? And it is also mag positive. Diba? Kasi isa lang ang exception, sabi ko. Only O15787. Right? So most serotypes of E. coli are MUG positive. Right? Klebsiella species produce mucoid colonies. Mucoid colonies on MAC. Okay? Because of the ability of the organism to produce polysaccharide capsule. Okay? So, it's related to the capsule of Klebsiella species. Okay? And the mucoid colonies may actually be subjected to so-called string test. So, you just lift the colony using an inoculating needle, and you will produce a string, right, if the organism is positive for capsule. Okay? And that is true of Klebsiella species. Okay? And another test that is also related to capsule formation is Neufeld-Killang. So it is Neufeld-Killang positive. Okay? So maybe you already encountered this in your previous topics. Okay? Because there are also gram-positive organisms that are Neufeld-Killang positive, mga encapsulated, such as Streptococcus pneumoniae under Streptococci. Right? And most Klebsiella species are ornithine decarboxylase negative. Okay? So most are ornithine decarboxylase negative. Enterobacter, just like Klebsiella, also produces mucoid colonies. So ganun din, no? Mucoid colonies. There. But Enterobacter species in general are ornithine decarboxylase positive. Again, ang confusing dito ay si Klebsiella aerogenes na dating Enterobacter aerogenes. Okay? So, kaya kung isasama natin si Klebsiella aerogenes, exception na naman siya. Kasi nga dati siyang Enterobacter and it shares biochemical characteristics with the Enterobacter species. Okay? There. So, how about motility? Escherichia coli is motile. Klebsiella species in general are non-motile. Enterobacter species are motile. TSI reaction, of course, these are the lactose fermenters. So, lahat sila A over A with gas. A over A with gas. A over A with gas. Okay? But of course, with exceptions. Okay? So, sa Escherichia coli, except E. coli inactive. Diba? E. coli inactive. Right? So, K over A siya sa anaerogenic. Okay? So, it's also called E. coli alkalisens dispar serotype. Okay? So, alkalisens dispar serotype. There. E. coli inactive or E. coli alkalisens dispar serotype. It's K over A, it is anaerogenic. Right? So, among the Klebsiella species, the exception is Klebsiella pneumoniae subspecies Rhino-scleromatis. Okay? So, Klebsiella pneumoniae subspecies Rhino-scleromatis. There. Okay? So, it's also non-lactose fermented. So, K over A din yan. And among the Enterobacter species, except Enterobacter cancerogenus. E. cancerogenus, which is also non-lactose fermenter. So, lahat ng mga exception ay non-lactose fermenter. So, K over A sila. Right? So, about LIA. So, again, in lysine iron agar, we are able to detect both deamination and decarboxylation. Okay? And Escherichia coli is K over K, right? Or it is decarboxylase positive. No? So, K in the bat portion means positive for decarboxylation, for lysine decarboxylation. Okay? Klebsiella species, just like E. coli, K over K. Okay? With the exception of the same organism here. Klebsiella pneumoniae subspecies Rhino-scleromatis. Okay? And for Enterobacter species, K over A, or that means decarboxylase negative. Okay? So primarily Enterobacter cloacae and Enterobacter cancerogenus. Yan yung typical LIA reaction nila. Okay? Imbic, so positive, negative, negative. Klebsiella species, variable, because it depends on the subspecies. Okay? O ngayon, if we will only consider Klebsiella pneumoniae, subspecies pneumoniae, kapareho ni Enterobacter. But because there are other species with different IMVIC reactions, variable na lang. Mamaya ako na lang ibibigay yung specific IMVIC reactions of the individual species. No? Enterobacter species, negative, negative, positive, positive. Okay? All right, so let's discuss further each of these genera of organisms. I start with Escherichia coli, of course. In the genus Escherichia, this is the most notable, Escherichia coli, and it has several serotypes. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na diarrhea genic, yung A to F, diarrhea genic. Okay? Except yung letter G. Yung A to F, diba? If you still remember sa page 1, so I said there are diarrhea genic E. coli serotypes. And again, they include A to F, except letter G. Escherichia coli is the #1 cause of urinary tract infection. At ito yon, yung letter G yon, specifically. Okay? And the #2 cause of neonatal meningitis. Meningitis. There. Okay? So, let's go over the serotypes. Okay? So, yung EC, yung EC dyan, EC, E. coli yan. E. coli. Lahat yan. Pababa. So, EH means enterohemorrhagic. So, that's enterohemorrhagic. Okay? ETEC is enterotoxigenic. Enterotoxigenic E. coli, enteroinvasive E. coli, enteropathogenic E. coli. Okay? Enteroaggregative E. coli, diffusely adherent E. coli, and uropathogenic. O kaya nga, yan yung causative agent ng UTI. Okay? There. So, virulence factor or factors, enterohemorrhagic E. coli produces verotoxin. Verotoxin. So, that's the VT here. Okay? Verotoxic E. coli. Also called Shiga-like toxin. Okay? Shiga-like toxin. O, yun naman yung ST dito. Right? So, kaya other terms for enterohemorrhagic E. coli are verotoxic E. coli or Shiga-like toxin producing E. coli. Okay? Pare-pareho lang yun ha. They are one and the same. Enterohemorrhagic E. coli is verotoxic E. coli equals Shiga-like toxin producing E. coli. Okay? ETEC produces enterotoxins. Okay? Enterotoxins. Okay? Which include labile toxin as well as stable toxin. Heat labile and heat stable toxin or enterotoxins. Okay? Enteroinvasive E. coli produces invasine. Invasine. Right? So it's a toxin or protein that facilitates invasion of enterocytes. Okay? Yung mga epithelial cells sa intestinal tract. Okay? So invasine. EPEC and AEC, no? Yung enteropathogenic and enteroaggregative. Okay? Both have pili or fimbriae. Pili or fimbriae, which serve as their virulence factors and pathogenicity islands. Okay? Pathogenicity islands. Okay? And in addition, EPEC here also has plasmid encoded adherence factor. Okay? So plasmid encoded adherence factor. There. And DAEC, diffusely adherent E. coli, produces adhesins. Adhesins. And UPEC also has pili or fimbriae. Pili or fimbriae, which are important for attachment and colonization. Okay? There. So, there you have the virulence factors. And of course, these virulence factors are related to certain clinical manifestations. So what are those clinical manifestations? There you have it. Okay. EHEC causes hemorrhagic colitis, which is characterized by diarrhea, bloody diarrhea, but no PMNs or no leukocytes. Okay? So, bloody stool pero no leukocytes. Okay? Bloody stool, no PMNs. Okay? So, that's important. Right? So, bloody diarrhea, bloody stool, hemorrhagic colitis, but during microscopic examination, no PMNs. Okay? It is associated with hemolytic uremic syndrome. HUS is hemolytic uremic syndrome, which may lead to renal failure. Okay, renal failure. Right? And the most common isolate or serotype, okay, that produces this manifestation is E. coli 0157H7 na kanina pa nating umaga nababanggit. So yan, ha? When you say EHEC equals E. coli 0157H7. Kaya apat ang ano niya, synonyms. Okay? EHEC, VTEC, STEC, E. coli 0157H7. Okay? So ito yung talagang specific serotype because remember, we detect this serotype using anti-sera. Serogrouping yan or serotyping using specific anti-sera targeting 0157 and H7 antigens. Okay? And if you still remember, this serotype is sorbitol. This is both sorbitol and MUG negative. Diba? So sorbitol negative, colorless colonies on SMAC, and MUG negative, no electric blue fluorescence on MUG test. Okay? So ETEC causes traveler's diarrhea, which is cholera-like. This is described as cholera-like diarrhea, also referred to as Montezuma's revenge. And other diagnostic tests include immunoassays for detecting the labile toxin and the stable toxin produced by this serotype. Remember that ETEC produces enterotoxins. Okay? Labile and stable enterotoxins. So there are immunoassays used to detect these toxins. Okay? Enteroinvasive E. coli produces Shigella-like infection. Ibig sabihin, dysentery yan. Okay? So, when you say Shigella-like, dysentery. Okay? Dysentery-like infection. And when you say dysentery, bloody na, mucoid pa. Okay? And when you say bloody, syempre, RBCs. Diba? Positive. Right? So, positive for RBCs and PMNs. Okay? So, positive for RBCs and PMNs. Kasi remember, yung HUS, may RBCs pero walang PMNs. Okay, sabi ko, importante yun. Yung kanina, no? Sa EHEC, no PMNs. So, this time, with RBCs, kasi nga, bloody, okay, pero no, but at the same time, with PMNs. Okay? So, both RBCs and PMNs are present. Okay? So, EPEC, infantile diarrhea, and just like the acute or chronic diarrhea, caused by enteroaggregative, okay, non-bloody ito, no? Non-bloody diarrhea. So pareho yan na non-bloody. Okay? Pero mucoid. Nakita niyo yung differences ha? Yung letter A, bloody, walang PMNs. Yung letter C, bloody and mucoid, may PMNs. Yung D and E, non-bloody, pero may mucus, mucoid. Okay? There. So mucoid stool and yung enteroaggregative E. coli associated with immunocompromised patients, HIV patients, right? And diffusely adherent E. coli causes both diarrhea and UTI, right? And UPEC, of course, only causes UTI, and both are primarily nosocomial, or again, that means hospital acquired. Okay? So let's now talk about Klebsiella species. Virulence factors again include polysaccharide capsule. Remember, this is the anti-phagocytic virulence factor of Klebsiella and is responsible for the mucoid colonies that can be lifted using an inoculating needle, right? And is also associated with a positive Neufeld-Killang reaction. Okay? So, Klebsiella also produces beta-lactamases, no? Extended spectrum beta-lactamases, ESBLs. Okay? ESBLs and carbapenimases. Okay? Nasabi ko na kanina to, positive sa modified Hodge, di ba? Carbapenimases. Okay? So extended spectrum beta-lactamases and carbapenimases. Ibig sabihin, resistant to beta-lactam antibiotics and carbapenems. Okay? It is differentiated from Enterobacter primarily by motility. Okay? Because again, Klebsiella species are non-motile in general, and ODC. You already saw this in the table kanina. Diba? Kapag Klebsiella, non-motile, tapos ODC negative. Enterobacter, motile, and ODC positive. Okay? And of course, notable is Klebsiella pneumoniae, subspecies pneumoniae, which causes UTI, septicemia, and lower respiratory tract infections. Okay? So lower RTIs. Lobar pneumonia. Lobar pneumonia. There. Characterized by current jelly-like sputum. Red, current jelly-like sputum. Okay? There. So red current jelly-like sputum is characteristic of pneumonia caused by Klebsiella pneumoniae, subspecies pneumoniae. So that's it for Klebsiella and Enterobacter species, commonly associated with medical devices, contaminated medical devices. Okay, contaminated medical devices. And in addition to chromosome-encoded antibiotic resistance genes, Enterobacter species may contain plasmids, right, that encode antibiotic resistance genes that may be transferred to other bacterial species, okay? So pwedeng with other Enterobacter species or even with other members of Enterobacterales. Okay? And that's how resistance genes spread, primarily through the transfer of plasmid encoded genes via horizontal gene transfer or conjugation. Okay? And of course, we are talking about beta-lactamases here. Beta-lactamases. There. So, here are the notable species of Klebsiella and Enterobacter. Okay? So Klebsiella pneumoniae has 3 subspecies. Subspecies pneumoniae, subspecies ozzini, and subspecies rhinoscleromatis. Other species include Klebsiella oxytoca, Klebsiella erogenes, which used to be Enterobacter erogenes. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina pa. Okay? This species, for the longest time, belonged to Enterobacter, genus Enterobacter, but has just been reclassified under Klebsiella. So it's now Klebsiella erogenes. Okay? Enterobacter cloacae and Enterobacter cancerogenus, which is formerly Enterobacter taylori. Okay? So we characterize these species in terms of IMVIC reactions, urease, decarboxylation reactions. LOA, again, this refers to lysine decarboxylase, ornithine decarboxylase, and arginine dehydrolase. Okay? So, kanina doon sa table ng E. coli, Klebsiella, Enterobacter, 'di ba? Ang nilagay ko sa IMVIC ng Klebsiella ay variable. Bakit variable? Kasi these 5 species here differ in terms of their IMVIC reactions. Okay? So, yung kapareho ng Enterobacter species is only Klebsiella pneumoniae subspecies pneumoniae, which is negative, negative, positive, positive. Okay? So kapareho 'yan ng mga Enterobacter species. At saka yung dating Enterobacter erogenes. Okay? So these are also itong tatlo na to, just like subspecies pneumoniae, also produce negative, negative, positive, positive IMVIC reactions. Okay? But the 2 other subspecies of Klebsiella pneumoniae have different, no, IMVIC reactions. Na actually, kabaliktaran nung kay Oxytoca. Kaya unahin natin si Oxytoca. Oxytoca differs from subspecies pneumoniae in that it is indole positive. Okay? So, kaya palitan mo lang yung indole. Okay? So, positive indole, and then kopyahin mo na yung methyl red Voges-Proskauer at saka citrate. Okay? So, negative, positive, positive. Okay? So, ito lang yung nabago. Right? So, subspecies pneumoniae is indole negative, Oxytoca is indole positive. Nakasulat din yan dun sa additional comments. Basahin mo dito sa other comments. Okay? So, nakalagay, resembles Klebsiella pneumoniae but is indole positive. Okay? So, it's indole positive. There. So, again, itong ozzini and rhinoscleromatis, opposite of the IMVIC reactions of Oxytoca. Okay? So, kaya baliktarin mo lahat yan. Okay? Negative, positive, negative, negative. Kabaliktaran ng kay Oxytoca. Right? Only 3 species here are urease positive. In your handout, naka-shade yan, naka-highlight yan ng yellow. Okay? Subspecies pneumoniae is positive. Okay? Oxytoca is also positive. And cloacae, Enterobacter cloacae is also positive. And the rest are urease negative. Okay? And take note that the urease positive organisms here are the so-called slow urease producers. Ito yung after 24 hours pa bago nagpa-positive. Kasi if you remember kanina, sa discussion natin ng biochemical tests, merong rapid urease at saka slow urease producers. Pag rapid urease, yun yung triprotease. And then itong mga Klebsiella Enterobacter species, they are slow urease producers. So, sulatan ko dito ng slow. Yan. So, 24 hours before mag-positive yan. Right? So, how about decarboxylation reactions? Klebsiella pneumoniae, subspecies pneumoniae is lysine decarboxylase positive, ODC, and ADH negative. Okay? And then itong dalawa na to, triple decarboxylase negative. Negative, negative, negative. Okay? And then, Oxytoca, just like subspecies pneumoniae, is positive, negative, negative. Klebsiella erogenes, okay, which used to be Enterobacter aerogenes, is positive, positive, negative. Cloacae and Cancerogenous are both negative, positive, positive. Okay? Because I told you that Enterobacter species are always ODC positive. Diba? That's one important characteristic of Enterobacter species. Okay? If you go back to the table kanina, yung differentiation among E. coli, Klebsiella, and Enterobacter, diba? So, we wrote there that Enterobacter species are ODC positive. That's their general characteristic. Kaya nga yung aerogenes sa dating Enterobacter, ayan, positive din siya. Okay? Kasi it used to be under Enterobacter, genus Enterobacter, diba? Okay. So, other comments? Subspecies pneumoniae is the Friedlander's bacillus, and it may express the so-called HVKP phenotype. Okay? So, ano ba ibig sabihin ng HVKP? HVKP is hypervirulent or mucoviscous Klebsiella pneumoniae. Okay? HV is hypervirulent or hypermucoviscous. Okay? Hypervirulent or hypermucoviscous Klebsiella pneumoniae, right? Which is associated with severe pneumonia, no? Severe form of pneumonia and septicemia. Okay? So, of course, ozene causes ozena or atrophic rhinitis. Rhinoscleromatis causes rhinoscleroma. Rhinoscleroma is granuloma of the nose and oropharynx. Okay? Granuloma of the nose and oropharynx. Okay? So, that's rhinoscleroma. Okay? And Enterobacter, rather Klebsiella aerogenes, okay, which used to be Enterobacter aerogenes, expresses inducible beta-lactamase. Okay, AMP-C beta-lactamase. So, ibig sabihin ng inducible, right? Inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase. At first, it's susceptible or sensitive to beta-lactam antibiotics, but may convert to beta-lactam resistant. Okay? Because of induction of beta-lactamase production, especially when treated with cephalosporins. Okay? Kaya very important yan, no? Kaya nga may mga nagrereklamo na mga microbiologists doon sa pagpalit ng name. Kasi malaki ang impact niyan sa clinical aspect, no? Kasi magkaiba ang therapeutic regimen ng Klebsiella versus Enterobacter. Okay? Kaya pag hindi ka updated, at nakita mong Klebsiella, binigyan mo ng cephalosporin, mag-i-induce yun ng beta-lactamase production. Okay? And it will become more virulent and antibiotic resistant. Usually, that happens after the first day of antibiotic administration. So, ngayong araw, susceptible. Bukas, hindi na. Kasi na-induce na yung antibiotic resistance when cephalosporins are administered. Okay? So, kaya it's important na updated din sa taxonomy. Okay? So, kahit sa Klebsiella, ang therapeutic regimen pa rin ay kapareho nung sa mga Enterobacter. Kasi it shares common characteristics with Enterobacter species. Itong inducible AMP-C na to is also produced by Cloacae, which is the most common isolate of Enterobacter. Right? And cancerogenous, sinabi ko na kanina to, no? Ito yung exception natin. Kasi sabi ko, Enterobacter is A over A with gas, except cancerogenous, which is K over A, because it is non-lactose fermenter. Diba? So, lactose negative, meaning non-lactose fermenter. Okay? There. Right, so species previously classified under genus Enterobacter I mentioned this already kanina, si Floralibacter jergovi. It used to be Enterobacter jergovi. So this organism is urease positive also, just like Enterobacter cloacae. And its decarboxylation reaction profile is positive, positive, negative. Okay? Remember that the members of genus Enterobacter are ODC positive. Kaya, most of the related species here are notably positive also for ODC. Diba yung gitna is ODC? O yun, positive. Okay? Chronobacter sakasakiae is indole positive. Right? So it differs from Enterobacter in general because Enterobacter is indole negative, no? And its LOA reactions are negative, positive, positive, no? Negative, positive, positive. So notice that again, it is ODC positive. Kasi nga related yan sa Enterobacter. It used to be Enterobacter sakasakiae. Okay? And Chronobacter sakasakiae is associated with neonatal infections. Associated with neonatal infections. Right? And take note that both the Chronobacter and the Pantoa agglomerans produce yellow pigment. Okay? Itong dalawa, dito ko nalang sulatin sa gilid, no? So, positive yellow pigment. Okay? At 25 degrees Celsius. When grown at 25 degrees Celsius, so they produce yellow pigment. Right? So, how about Pantoa agglomerans? Right? It is indole positive also, right? Chronobacter is sorbitol negative in addition to this, right? So sorbitol negative. So para siyang ano, no, parang si E. coli 015787, right? So Pantoa agglomerans is indole positive and characterized by triple decarboxylase negative reaction. Okay, so negative, negative, negative. So para siyang Ozine and Rhinoscleromatis, di ba? Which are also triple decarboxylase negative. Right? And therefore, ito lang yung kakaiba sa group na to. Because again, sabi ko, di ba, Enterobacter species are ODC positive. So are the related species, except Pantoa because this time it's ODC negative. Kasi nga, triple negative siya eh. Di ba? And it's contracted from diverse sources, including contaminated IV solutions. Okay? Hafnia albi is non-lactose fermenter. It used to be Enterobacter hafnia or Enterobacter albi, non-lactose fermenter, characterized by delayed citrate reaction. Okay, delayed citrate reaction, and the LOA reactions are positive, positive, negative. So again, it's ODC positive. Kasi nga, related ulit sa Enterobacter. Right? And Hafnia albi is associated with opportunistic GI infections. Okay? All right. So we now proceed to the next group of organisms. Another set of genera, Citrobacter, Edwardsiella, Serratia. Okay? So here are the representative organisms: Frondiae, Tarda, Marcescens. Okay, so key characteristics. We'll talk about 4 biochemical tests here, no? Citrate, H2S, ONPG, and indole. Yan. Okay? For all 3 of these. Okay? So, Citrobacter frondiae is citrate positive. Kaya nga citro for citrate. Okay? ONPG positive because this is a late lactose fermenter. It is H2S positive and indole negative. Right? Edwardsiella tarda is citrate negative H2S positive, ONPG negative, and indole positive. Okay? Serratia marcescens is citrate positive, H2S negative, ONPG positive, kasi late lactose fermenter din ito. Okay? And indole negative. Right? So, appearance of colonies on MAC conchis medium, Citrobacter prondii colonies appear colorless to pink. Colorless after 24 hours, becoming pink after prolonged incubation because again, it is a late lactose fermenter. Okay? Edwardsiella is non-lactose fermenter, so colorless. Okay? And for Serratia marcescens, just like Citrobacter prondii, late lactose fermenter, so from colorless to pink. Okay? And in addition, Serratia marcescens may produce red pigment. Okay? So positive red pigment. There. That may mask the color of the colonies na related sa lactose fermentation. Okay? No, kasi because of the natural pigment production of Serratia. So yung red pigment has nothing to do with lactose fermentation. It's naturally produced by the organism. Okay? Wala siyang kinalaman doon sa indicator ng medium. Right? So, PSI for Citrobacter prondii, dahil nga late lactose fermenter, so initially K/A with gas, okay? Pero eventually will convert to A/A with gas and H2S positive. Okay? There. Edwardsiella tarda, K/A with gas, H2S positive. Okay? And Serratia marcescens, either K/A or A/A. Because again, it's also late lactose fermenter. Okay? Lia, lysine iron agar. So Citrobacter prondii is lysine decarboxylase negative. Diba? If the bat there is acid, that means the carboxylase negative. Okay? Edwardsiella tarda is decarboxylase positive. Okay? And Serratia marcescens is also decarboxylase positive. Okay? So purple bat means decarboxylase positive. If you still remember, no? From our discussion this morning. Okay? So IMBIC, Citrobacter prondii produces negative, positive, IMBIC reactions. Edwardsiella tarda has the same IMBIC reactions as E. coli. So that is positive, negative. And for Serratia marcescens, ito naman kamukha to ng Enterobacter and Klebsiella. Negative, positive. Okay? Let us further characterize the members of these genera. Okay, so Citrobacter species are mostly late lactose fermenters, of course, especially prondii. And may resemble E. coli, but can be differentiated by citrate positive reaction. Okay, so citrate positive there. And of course, another difference is Citrobacter produces H2S. E. coli does not. Okay? So, C. prondii resembles Salmonella on media containing thiosulfate and iron. Right? So, on media that do not contain thiosulfate and iron, ang kamukha niya E. coli. Pag walang H2S indicators, mukha siyang E. coli. Pero pag may H2S indicator, siyempre magpuproduce siya ng H2S, kamukha niya ngayon si Salmonella. So therefore, if the media contain thiosulfate and iron, and Citrobacter produces hydrogen sulfide, H2S, then how do we distinguish Citrobacter from Salmonella? Well, you may perform ONPG and lysine decarboxylase. Okay? Because Citrobacter prondiae is positive for ONPG and negative for LDC. Right? All right. While most Salmonella serotypes are ONPG negative and LDC positive. Isang Salmonella lang ang ONPG positive, and that's Salmonella arizonate, di ba? Okay. So now let's compare and contrast the three common species of Citrobacter: Prondiae, Brachii, Cosseri, which is formerly Diversus. Okay, so it used to be Citrobacter diversus. So notice that Prondiae and Brachii have the same IMVIC and H2S reactions, but they can be differentiated using ornithine decarboxylase. Prondiae is ODC negative, while Brachii is ODC positive. Cosseri differs from the two other species in that its IMVIC reaction profile is positive, positive, negative, positive. That means it's indole positive. That's how it differs from the two other species. Okay? So same sila doon sa three other reactions, but the only difference is the indole reaction there, which is positive. Okay? It's H2S negative and ODC positive. Okay? Edwardsia latarda is differentiated from most Salmonella species and Citrobacter prondiae because just like the two organisms, Edwardsiella also produces H2S. Okay? So how do we differentiate Edwardsiella from Salmonella and Citrobacter prondiae? Indole and citrate. Okay? So Edwardsiella is positive for indole and negative for citrate. Because remember, the IMVIC reactions of Edwardsiella is similar to that of E. coli. It's positive, positive, negative, negative. So therefore, positive indole, negative citrate. Okay? Chief reservoirs include aquatic animals, okay, reptiles, and freshwater fishes. There. Infections often involve aquatic environments. Okay, aquatic environments. There. O kasi nga, yung reservoirs are aquatic animals. Okay? And when you say infections here, primarily gastroenteritis. Okay? Gastroenteritis. And finally, Serratia species. These are three important species here: Marcescens, Orbidea, odorifera. Okay, so in general, the Serratia species are associated with medical devices, contaminated medical devices, and medical solutions, including IV fluids. And turn off your microphone. Okay, and the Serratia species in general survive under harsh conditions and are resistant to many disinfectants and antibiotics. Okay, so I already mentioned a while ago that Serratia marcescens produces red pigment, and that red pigment is called prodigiosin. Prodigiosin. Okay, or this also called, or the chemical name for this pigment is 2-methyl 3-amyl 6-methoxy prodigiosin. There. So that's a chemical name for this red pigment. Prodigiosin is 2-methyl 3-amyl 6-methoxy prodigiosin. Okay? So, ENE. Oh, pero Yung other term niya, yung more common term is SIN. Okay, Prodigiosin. And it causes pneumonia. Okay, pneumonia and septicemia among immunocompromised and chemotherapy patients. So infections are often nosocomial also. Okay? So Rubidea, just like marcescens, also produces red pigment. Okay, red pigment, as evidenced by its name. Kaya siya Rubidea, because of the production of the same red pigment at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay? And it's differentiated, right, from Serratia species in that it is ODC negative, right? And finally, odorifera. So what's in the name? Odorifera, because it has a characteristic rancid odor or rancid potato-like odor. Rancid potato-like odor. There. Okay, so we now proceed to this next set of genera, Salmonella, Shigella, Plesiomonas. And here we'll distinguish among most serotypes of Salmonella, Shigella species, and Plesiomonas shigelloides. Right? So most Salmonella serotypes are positive for citrate, malonate, lysine decarboxylase, gas production, okay? Gas production, ibig sabihin, aerogenic, and H2S. Lahat yan positive. Okay? Citrate positive, malonate positive, LDC positive, gas positive, H2S positive. Okay? In contrast, Shigella species are biochemically inert, meaning it has very few positive reactions. Okay? Biochemically inert. Or with very few positive reactions. Halos lahat ng test negative. Yun ang ibig sabihin niya. Okay? While Plesiomonas shigelloides is known for its positive oxidase reaction. Diba? Siya nga lang yung exception. Diba? Kaninang umaga, I said all members are oxidase negative with the exception of this member, Plesiomonas shigelloides, because it used to be under family Vibrionaceae, whose members are typically oxidase positive. Okay? So it's indole positive and H2S negative. Okay? So, how do we describe the colonies on Hectoin enteric agar, XLD, Xylose lysine deoxycholate, and Salmonella shigella agar? So these three media are of particular importance at this point because we are now talking about Salmonella and Shigella. Okay? Kasi for the other members, okay na yung MAC. But for Salmonella and Shigella, okay, better to use one of these media. Okay? Because they contain H2S indicators. Right? So therefore, how do we characterize the appearance of colonies of most Salmonella serotypes? Non-lactose fermenter with black centers. Okay? So non-lactose fermenters or non-lactose fermenting colonies with black centers, and the black centers represent H2S production. Okay? So Shigella species, non-lactose fermenters, and in contrast to Salmonella, no black centers. Okay? And for Plesiomonas shigelloides, same as Shigella species. O, ganun din. Non-lactose fermenters, no black centers. So only Salmonella serotypes have black centers, or their colonies have black centers because of H2S production. Okay? O, kasi ang Shigella, H2S negative din. O, kasama yun dun sa mga negative reactions. Kaya nga biochemically inert. Halos lahat ng test negative siya. Okay? There. So, motility, of course, most Salmonella serotypes are motile. Di ba? Exception lang natin kanina, Pulorum and Gallinarum. Shigella species are non-motile. Pleishomona shigelloides is, of course, motile. Okay? TSI, most Salmonella serotypes produce K over A with gas. O, kasi nga, most are aerogenic. Okay? And H2S positive. Shigella species, K over A. Walang gas. Okay? And Pleishomonias shigelloides, K over A, wala ding gas. Okay? So, LIA, lysine iron agar, most Salmonella serotypes are, ayan, nakasulat sa taas, LDC positive. So, pag LDC positive, automatic, K over K. Diba? And H2S positive. Because LIA also contains H2S indicator. Okay? And then, Shigella species are LDC negative, so therefore K over A. Pleishomona shigelloides is LDC positive, so therefore K over K. There. And if I may add, IMVIC, so dagdag na lang natin yung IMVIC dito. Okay? So this is negative, positive, variable, positive, negative, positive, variable, negative. Okay, so we now talk about the details of each of these genera of organisms. So we start with Salmonella species. Okay, so there are only two notable species, namely Enterica, okay, Salmonella enterica, which is the human pathogen, and Salmonella bongori, which is an animal pathogen. So therefore, this is the one that is of clinical importance, Salmonella enterica, being the human pathogen. And this species has 6 subspecies. Okay, so with 6 subspecies. And notable are subspecies enterica and subspecies arizonae. Okay, so subspecies enterica and arizonae. There. And of this, or in this species, okay, there are more than 2,500 serotypes. Okay? So under subspecies, mas mababa pa yung serotype sa subspecies. Right? So under species enterica is subspecies enterica, and under subspecies enterica are more than 2,500 serotypes. Okay? Kaya kanina, I have been repeatedly mentioning serotypes. Basta sabihin ko yung Salmonella, ang ginagamit kong term, serotypes rather than species. Okay? Because we are actually more commonly referring to the serotypes. Okay? Which have special nomenclature rules. Yan yung sinasabi ko kanina. Nakakaiba yung way of writing the scientific name for serotypes. Okay? And here are the rules. When first written, the serotype name must be preceded by the word serotype or ser. Okay? The first letter is capitalized and not italicized. Okay? So therefore, when referring to serotype typhi, and it is first mentioned in a scientific literature, okay? Halimbawa, gumagawa ka ng journal article sa research mo, when the name of the organism is first mentioned, you have to write the entire name like this. Okay? Salmonella enterica, that's the species. Subspecies enterica, that's the subspecies. Serotype typhi. Okay? But for subsequent mentions of the same organism, okay? So ganito na lang mo siya susulatin. Okay? Salmonella. So naka-italicize pa rin yung salmonella when typewritten, of course. Kapag handwritten, underlined. Pag typewritten, italicized. Okay? So assuming na lang na typewritten yan. So italicized. Only the genus name is italicized. Okay? The serotype, ayan, maliwanag, di ba? Not italicized. First letter, capitalized, not italicized. Okay? So therefore, typhi. Okay? Or, pwede rin ito, no? Accepted din yung S, tuldok, naka-italicize ulit, and then typhi. Okay? At ito yung lagi niyong nakikita sa akin simula pa kanina. Pag sinusulat ko ang pangalan ng serotype, ganyan, di ba? Kasi that is the shortened name of serotype typhi. Kasi alangan namang isulat ko lagi ang pagkahaba-haba na yan. Pero ang totoong pangalan niya, ang buo, no? Buong pangalan is Salmonella enterica subspecies enterica serotype typhi. So papalit-palitan mo lang to kasi napakaraming serotypes. Serotype paratyphi, serotype enteritidis, gallinarum, polorum, cholera suis, etc. Pakarami yan. Typhimurium. Okay? So they all belong to the same subspecies under the same species. Pero, several serotypes. 2,500 nga eh. Yan, more than 2,500. O, ganun sila karami. But of course, only few are clinically important. Okay? So maliwanag yan, ha? Tayo nagkakamali sa writing ng scientific name. How about po, may question, how about po kapag handwritten? Need din po ba i-underline yung type? No. Kasi yung ina-underline mo sa handwritten, yun yung supposed to be italicized. Kaya hindi mo i-underline yung type kasi hindi naman siya supposed to be italicized. Okay? Kasi yung rule na yan na ina-underline, actually unofficial na rule yan eh kasi that's our way of telling the publisher that the underlined word should be italicized. Yun, kaya nagkaroon ng ganong parang unwritten rule na kapag handwritten, i-underline mo. Kasi dati, ganon, pag isasubmit sa publisher yung paper, handwritten sa simula, kasi di pa naman dati uso ang computer at typewriter, di ba? So dati, handwritten nila yon, i-underline nila to tell the publisher that the underlined name should be italicized. So therefore, ngayon, kung susulat mo siya, handwritten, ang i-underline mo lang ay yung names that are supposed to be italicized. Okay? So, hindi kasama yung typhi or kahit ano pang serotype name at hindi rin yung term na serotype. Nakita mo, hindi mo rin i-italicize or i-underline yung term na serotype or ser. Okay? At saka yung term na subspecies, hindi mo rin siya i-italicize or i-underline. Okay? Ang ina-italicize at ina-underline lang ay genus name at saka specific epithet at saka subspecies name. Okay? Pero yung term na subspecies at yung term na serotype, hindi. At saka yung mismong serotype name, hindi rin. Maliwanag yan, ha? All right, so categories of infection caused by common serotypes. Okay? So there are three, enteric fevers, bacteremia septicemia, gastroenteritis. Right? So under enteric fevers are typhoid fever and paratyphoid fever. Typhoid fever is a life-threatening infection characterized by prolonged fever and multi-system involvement and is most frequently caused by Salmonella serotype typhi. Okay? And asymptomatic care is called typhoid Mary. This has historical relevance. Typhoid Mary. There. Workup. So, First week, blood. Okay? Second week of infection, the appropriate specimen is urine or stool. Third week of infection, the appropriate diagnostic technique is serology. Okay, when you say serology, Widal test or ELISA. Of course, ELISA is now more common. Okay? And the gold standard is culture. Okay? Gold standard for diagnosis is culture. Okay? So if typhoid fever is caused by Salmonella serotype typhi, paratyphoid fever is caused by 3 serotypes. Okay? So Salmonella serotype paratyphi, paratyphi A, paratyphi B, paratyphi C. So tatlo yan ha. Paratyphi A is different from paratyphi B and paratyphi C. Okay? Bacteremia, septicemia, these occur by spread from the gastrointestinal tract. No? So from start siya ng gastroenteritis and may spread to the circulation, causing bacteremia and septicemia. Okay? And it usually involves Salmonella serotype cholera suis. Okay? Cholera suis. There. Gastroenteritis, enterocolitis, diarrhea. Marami ang pwedeng mag-cause nito, no? So, may be caused by Salmonella, typhi, typhimurium. These are all serotypes, Enteritidis, gallinarum. There. Okay? All right, so we now distinguish among the serotypes of Salmonella, most serotypes versus typhi, paratyphi, cholera suis, which are 3 of the most common isolates. So most serotypes are positive for, kanina sinulat ko yan sa table kanina, if you remember. Okay, saan ba yun? Ayan, no? Ito yan. Yan yun. Okay? So positive for citrate, gas from glucose, lysine decarboxylase, and H2S. Okay? Salmonella typhi is negative for citrate and also negative for gas. So it's anaerogenic. Okay? So S typhi is anaerogenic. Right? Sa lahat ng nandito, siya lang ang anaerogenic. Kaya siya lang naka-yellow. Diba? Because this is the only anaerogenic na serotype. No? Aerogenic. There. Okay? How about paratyphi? Negative citrate, positive gas, negative LDC, negative H2S. Okay, so lysine decarboxylase negative, H2S negative. Cholera suis, variable citrate and H2S, positive gas, and LDC. So notable, yung mga naka-yellow. Okay, so Shigella species are, again, biochemically inert, meaning they produce very few positive reactions, and they are closely related to Escherichia on molecular basis. Okay, Escherichia. There. Resist gastric acidity and require very few organisms to infect, no? As little as 10 to 200 organisms, enough to cause an infection. Okay? And Shigella species are subjected to serogrouping or serotyping. Right? And these are the serogroups, A, B, C, D. Right? So, based on O antigens yan. Kasi if you remember this morning, I said that Shigella and Salmonella and E. coli are all typed or serogrouped using O antigens, using a specific anti-sera targeting O antigens. Okay? And based on serotyping or serogrouping, So the Shigella species are classified into 4 groups, A, B, C, D. Okay? So group A is represented by Shigella dysenteriae. Okay, Shigella dysenteriae, or the Shiga bacillus. Okay? Shiga bacillus. There. Which is the most virulent among the serogroups here, or the serotypes of Shigella. Okay? It causes bacillary dysentery. Okay? Causes bacillary dysentery. There. Characterized by bloody and mucoid diarrhea. And this may lead to HUS, hemolytic uremic syndrome. The same syndrome associated with O15787. If you remember, we also refer to O157, so to E. coli O15787 as Shiga-like toxin producing E. coli. O, kasi nga, kapareho. At pareho sila na manifestation. Okay? So, bloody diarrhea that may lead to hemolytic uremic syndrome. Right? It produces a cytotoxin which is called Shiga toxin. Okay? So, Shiga toxin. So, ito yung original na toxin na kamukha ng toxin na napoproduce ni EHEC. If you remember EHEC or O15787, di ba? It produces Shiga-like toxin. Shiga-like, kamukha nito, toxin na ito. Kaya nga, ito kasi yung toxin na responsible for the manifestation. This is bloody diarrhea. Okay, leading to HUS. Right? So, group B is Shigella flexneri. Shigella flexneri, or Strong's bacillus. There. Group C is Boydii, Shigella boydii. Right? And Shigella boydii is biochemically similar to Shigella flexneri. Pareho sila ng biochemical profile. Okay? So, biochemically similar to Shigella flexneri. Okay? And both cause mild diarrhea, milder than that caused by Shigella dysenteriae. Okay? And finally, group D is Shigella sonnei. There, or Duval's bacillus. This is Duval's bacillus. Okay? So, walang common name si Shigella boydii. May common name lang itong ABD, Shiga, Strong's, Duval's bacillus. Okay? And group D, or Sonnei, is the most common cause of shigellosis. Alright? So, mannitol, catalase, ONPG, ODC. So, this is mannitol. This is catalase. Right? ONPG and ornithine decarboxylase. Right? So, group A, negative. Siya lang ang negative sa both mannitol and catalase. The rest are positive, positive, positive. Okay? ONPG and ODC, negative, negative, negative. Only Sonnei is positive. And I hope you remember Sonnei. From this morning's discussion, I said that it's one of the late lactose fermenters. Why? Because it's positive for ONPG. Remember, ang mga positive sa ONPG, kung hindi lactose fermenter, late lactose fermenter. Okay? And Shigella sonnei is considered late lactose fermenter because it's ONPG positive, or it also produces beta galactosidase. Okay? So, this is worth noting. Siya lang ang positive sa ONPG and ODC, at si dysentery lang ang negative sa mannitol and catalase. Okay? Pleishomona shigelloides is formerly a member of family Vibrionaceae. Okay, again, members of this family are oxidase positive. It cross-reacts with Shigella species. Okay, especially group D. Especially group D, or Shigella sonnei. Oh, kaya nga siya, Shigeloides. Kasi mukha siyang Shigella. Right? It has similarities with Shigella. That's why its name is Shigeloides. Right? Associated with gastroenteritis following ingestion of uncooked seafood. Okay? Motile with Monotrichus or Lupotrichus flagella. Monotrichus or Lupotrichus flagella. Because remember that most members of order Enterobacterales are provided with Peritrichus flagella. So yun yung kakaiba sa kanya. Flagellated, motile siya, pero Monotrichus or Lupotrichus rather than Peritrichus. Okay? So, if Pantoa agglomerans and Klebsiella pneumoniae, Ozinae, and Rhinoscleromatis are triple decarboxylase negative, Plesiomonas shigelloides is triple decarboxylase positive. Kakaiba yan, ha? Siya lang yung ganyan. Okay? Triple decarboxylase positive. Okay? Triple decarboxylase positive. Positive, positive, positive. Inositol positive and DNase negative. These are other important biochemical characteristics. Okay? Next, the members of tribe Proteae or family and family Morganellaceae. If you still remember, no? Sabi ko kanina, itong tatlo na to, Proteus, Providencia, Morganella, are the genera that used to be called tribe Proteae, now under family Morganellaceae. Okay? General biochemical characteristics, they are all deaminase positive. Okay? Deaminase positive. Phenylalanine deaminase or tryptophan deaminase positive. And I will repeat what I already said this morning. Okay, if an organism is deaminase positive, automatic, the Lea reaction is R over A. Okay, so R there means red. And red color on Lea slant is indicative of positive deamination or deamination reaction. Okay, so in addition to this, most members are urease positive. Okay, so most are urease positive. Most, kasi may exceptions. Pero yung deaminase, walang exception. Lahat, all members are deaminase positive. All members produce an R over A Lea reaction. Okay, but when it comes to urease, there are exceptions. But most are also positive. Okay, so here they are. Let's talk about Proteus species first. Source of antigens for whale Felix test. Okay, I hope you remember this. This test is used to detect rickettsial antibodies using the O antigens, specifically O antigens of Proteus vulgaris and Proteus mirabilis. Those are the reagents used in whale Felix test to detect antibodies to Rickettsia species. Okay? Growth pattern on blood agar or chocolate agar, swarming phenomenon. Okay? So characteristic swarming phenomenon there. Characteristic odor of colonies, burnt gunpowder. Burnt gunpowder or chocolate. Yeah. So burnt gunpowder odor or chocolate odor. Associated with urinary tract infection and calculi formation. Okay, so the characteristic calculi produced is triple phosphate, or struvite stone, struvite, or staghorn calculi. Staghorn calculi. There. So this is a description for the characteristic appearance of the calculi form. Okay? Yung triple phosphate or strovite stone has a characteristic staghorn pattern when seen in X-ray. Okay? Ano yan ha? Pag sabing calculi, kidney stone. Okay? So calculi or simply kidney stone. Okay? Recurrent infection with Proteus species is a predisposing factor to kidney stone formation. And the kidney stone is made of triple phosphate or strovite, and the appearance is staghorn when seen in X-ray. Okay? Providencia species cause nosocomial UTI also and are resistant to antimicrobial therapy, right? Well, most members, yung mga indole positive members of tribe Proteae or family Morganellacea are intrinsically resistant, no? Or have inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase expression. Okay? So lahat ng indole positive, no? Kasi hindi naman lahat indole positive, but all indole positive like vulgaris, Providencia, Morganella, right? They are characterized by resistance to antibiotics. Okay? Specifically, mga beta-lactam antibiotics. Okay? Morganella morganii. So there are two subspecies, Morganii and Sibonii, right? And the subspecies of Morganella cause UTIs and RTIs, urinary tract infection and respiratory tract infections. Okay? All right, so let's now characterize further the members of the tribe Proteae using these important biochemical tests. Okay, so these are the Proteus species. Okay, Proteus vulgaris, mirabilis, Peneri, Providencia, Ritgeris, Towartii, alcalifaciens, and Morganella morganii. Okay, so we can use indole to distinguish vulgaris from the other two species. Because vulgaris is positive, mirabilis and Peneri are indole negative. Okay? So take note of that, no? Kasi sabi ko kanina, pag indole positive, resistant to antibiotics. Okay? So indole positive equals AMP-C or inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase positive. Okay? So inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase. Okay? Which is responsible for antibiotic resistance. Okay? So resistance to beta-lactam antibiotics. Yan. So kaya importante yan, ha? Lahat ng indole positive. So ibig sabihin, these include vulgaris, Proteus vulgaris, all species of Providencia, these are also indole positive. Morganella morganii is also indole positive. Okay? So that's sila with inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase. Kapareho ito ni Klebsiella aerogenes and Klebsiella cloacae, if you still remember kanina. So under Klebsiella, I mentioned this. Diba? So ito yung ngayon susceptible, pero pag binigyan ng cephalosporin, bukas ano na siya, resistant na. Kasi nai-induce ng cephalosporin yung beta-lactamase expression. Okay? Kaya hindi ba pwedeng ititreat ng cephalosporin itong may mga inducible AMP-C beta-lactamase expression. Okay? There. So, how do we distinguish among Providencia and Morganella species? So, we use citrate and ODC. Ayan, yung sunod na naka-yellow. Right? So, Providencia species versus Morganella morganii. Providencia species are citrate positive Morganella morganii is citrate negative. Providencia species are ODC negative, while Morganella morganii is ODC positive. Kaya importante yan, ha? Notable yung citrate and ODC because these are the two biochemical tests that we use to distinguish between Providencia and Morganella. Okay? And sabi ko kanina, if we go back here, I said most members are urease positive with few exceptions. Sino lang ang exceptions? Only Providencia stewartii and alkali fasciens. So kung makikita mo, Vulgaris, Mirabilis, Peneri, Ritgeri, Morganii, they are all urease positive. Okay? Ang exception lang is stewartii, which is variable. Pag sabing variable, may strains na positive, may strains na negative. Okay? And alkali fasciens is negative. Okay, so last, Yersinia species, right? So they are characterized by bipolar staining. When stained with methylene blue or Wason stain, they show so-called safety pin-like appearance. Okay, so bipolar staining with methylene blue or Wason stain. Okay, described as safety pin-like. Safety pin-like. There. So when you say safety pin-like, with intense staining on each end or at each end of the cell. Okay? So kung ito yung bacterial cell, there's intense staining on the two poles or at each end of the cell. Parang ganyan. Okay? So kaya safety pin-like appearance. So they express V and W antigens. They tolerate temperatures ranging from 4 to 43 degrees Celsius. So wide yung temperature tolerance. But the temperature optimal for their growth is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. So room temperature ang optimal for growth of Yersinia species. Okay? So although wide yung tolerance from as low as 4 to as high as 43, pero best ang growth or most optimal ang growth when incubated at room temperature or 25 to 30 degrees Celsius. Okay? So motility, Yersinia species are non-motile at 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. Okay? So what are the important species? Start with the Yersinia pestis. Okay, sa pangalan pa lang, peste. It's the plague bacillus and it is one of the agents of bioterrorism. Okay, agent of bioterrorism. And therefore, when this is suspected, the specimen must be handled under BSL-3 facility. Okay? So dahil siya ay agent ng bioterrorism, it requires biosafety level 3 facility. Okay? And of course, appropriate BSC, biosafety cabinet. Okay? So requires BSL-3 facility and appropriate BSC. So dapat class 3 din yung BSC mo kasi nga bioterrorism agent. Okay? Transmitted through bites of rat fleas. Nabanggit ko na kaninang umaga to. I said, it's unique in that it's the only species among the clinically important species. It's the only species that is not intestinal but is arthropod-borne. Yung sa arthropod-borne, transmitted through bites of rat fleas. Okay? Such as Synopsila cyopis. Okay? Synopsila cyopis. So this is a scientific name of rat flea. that transmits Yersinia pestis, right? So growth pattern on broth media is stalactite-like. Stalactite-like. Okay? Colonies on blood agar, pinpoint colonies after 24 hours of incubation. Cauliflower-like. Okay, cauliflower-like or hammered copper. Colonies after 48 hours. Okay? So pinpoint after 24 hours, cauliflower-like or hammered copper colonies after 48 hours of incubation. Okay, so I just said Yersinia pestis is the plague bacillus. It causes plague, which has three major forms: bubonic, septicemic, pneumonic. Right? So this is what you will write in your handout. Okay? Bubonic plague is characterized by high fever and painful inflammatory swelling of axilla and groin lymph nodes. And those swellings are called buboes. Okay, buboes. The swellings in the axillary and groin regions are called buboes. Okay? Sa kilikili, sa singit. There. And the infection rapidly progresses to fulminant bacteremia. Okay? Or septicemia. Ito na yon. No? Septicemic plague. Also called Black Death. Okay? Black Death. Which is characterized by black spots. Kaya sa Black Death. No? Because it's characterized by black spots or patches all over the body of the patient. Okay? And the other form, which is rapidly fatal, highly fatal, is pneumonic plague. Okay? Characterized by pulmonary symptoms. Okay? And therefore, it is airborne. No? And ito yung ginagamit sa bioterrorism. Airborne. Pneumonic plague. So, pwede rin siyang consequence or parang sequel ng septicemic or bacteremic spread or airborne. So dalawa yung mode of transmission nito, no? Or dalawa yung pwedeng causes, right? So either airborne na ginagamit sa bioterrorism or complication ng initial bubonic na naging bacteremia at pwedeng mag-progress eventually to pneumonic plague. Okay? Other species include Enterocolitica and pseudotuberculosis. And both are associated with ingestion of contaminated food, especially animal products. Okay? Pareho sila, no? Almost the same ang mode of transmission. Almost the same din ang clinical manifestations. Okay? So, Yersinia enterocolitica is the most commonly isolated species. Okay, as the term implies, it causes enterocolitis. Okay, sa enterocolitica, causes enterocolitis and acute mesenteric lymphadenitis. Mesenteric lymphadenitis. There, which is appendicitis-like. Okay, appendicitis-like. Yan. Ito yung sinasabi ko na similar to the manifestation of Yersinia pseudotuberculosis infection. Okay? Because just like Yersinia enterocolitica, it also causes mesenteric lymphadenitis. Okay? So, mesenteric, ganun ulit, no? Mesenteric lymphadenitis, which is again appendicitis-like, okay? And septicemia. There. Following ingestion of infected animal products, or close contact with infected animals, or ingestion of contaminated food, especially animal products. Okay? And yung term na pseudotuberculosis is based on the production of caseous swellings, which are called pseudotubercles. Okay? So, especially in animals, because this is also a pathogen of animals. Okay? So, produces, so zoonotic itong ano na to, no? So, zoonotic ang species na to. So, kaya nga, may be contracted from infected animals. Okay? So, produces caseous swellings called pseudotubercles. There. All right, so we now distinguish among the species in terms of their phenotypic characteristics. So, I already said lahat sila ay non-motile at 35 to 37 degrees Celsius. But, Yersinia enterocolitica and pseudotuberculosis are motile at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay? Si Yersinia pestis ang consistently non-motile regardless of temperature. Okay? If you remember, isa siya dun sa mga exceptions natin kanina. Okay? Kasi non-motile siya regardless of the temperature. But the two other species are motile at 25 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, Yersinia pestis is urease negative. So, kung makikita mo, lahat negative pag Yersinia pestis. Right? But the two other species are urease positive. Okay? And the urease reaction is enhanced when the culture is incubated at 25 degrees Celsius. Because remember, that's the optimal temperature for their growth. Okay? So, ODC, negative, ODC and sucrose, pestis and pseudotuberculosis are negative, but enterocolitica is positive for both. Okay? And in addition to sucrose, if I may just add other sugars. Okay? Kasi very important yun, especially if you are distinguishing between enterocolitica and pseudotuberculosis. Wala tayong problema kay pestis kasi ibang-iba naman siya. Di ba? Iba ang mode of transmission, ibang clinical manifestations, okay? And even yung kanyang phenotypic characteristics, ibang-iba. Pero yung enterocolitica and pseudotuberculosis, there are many similarities, di ba? In terms of mode of transmission, in terms of clinical manifestation. So, it's a must that we distinguish between the two. Tapos pareho silang motile at room temperature, parehong urease positive. So, in addition to ODC and sucrose, you may also perform sugar fermentation test. Okay? You may include other sugars, okay, in addition to sucrose, such as rhamnose, okay, rhamnose, mellibiose, and trehalose. Trehalose. Okay? And again, for all of these sugars, negative. So, lahat talaga si pestis negative. Okay? And then, enterocolitica, variable. Pseudotuberculosis, positive. Okay? Kaya kapag urease positive, and positive sa most sugars, except lang yung sucrose, yun lang negative niya, but the other sugars, positive siya. Suspect pseudotuberculosis. Okay? So, very important yan in establishing the identity of the isolate. Okay, so that ends our lecture. Do you have questions or other concerns? So how did you find today's topic? Ha? Very interesting ito, kaya lang mahirap talaga kasi sobrang dami. Ang nagpapahirap dito ay yung very broad siya. Sobrang dami ng aaralin. Pero, 'di ba? Very interesting siya na topic. Kaya gustong-gusto ko tong topic na to eh. Sa lahat ng topic sa microbiology. So, wala nang questions. I will just administer the post-test asynchronously and I will give you time to review kasi ang supposed to be hanggang anong oras ba tayo? Hanggang 3, no? So I'll just set no the quiz at siguro mga ano no 2:45 to 3 p.m. 10 items lang naman eh. 10 items lang siya. So that you will still have time to review okay what we talked about since this morning. Tips daw to memorize all the positive and negative results for every organism. Yung ginawa ko sa handout, yan na yung tip ko. Kasi kung i-compare mo yung ginawa kong handout dun sa book chapter, sige, subukan yung tingnan yung book chapter at baka lalo kayong mabaliw sa sobrang lengthy ng discussion. So, kaya nga ginawa ko siya, no? Inorganize ko siya into groups na may similar points of differentiation. Kasi yan ang secret ko. Pag inaaral ko itong group na to, kailangan i-organize mo siya. Dahil pag hindi mo siya i-organize ng ganyan, hindi mo pagsasamahin yung may mga common points of differentiation, sobrang hirap talaga. And nakita nyo, doon sa mga biochemical test, hina-highlight ko yung mga tests na must know. Yung talagang ginagamit to distinguish one organism from another. Another tip din yun. Hindi mo kailangang memorize yung buong table. Okay? So, just give emphasis on the biochemical reactions that are unique no, for each organism or that may be used to distinguish one organism from another. Ano pang question ninyo? Okay na. Sige. So, ganun na lang ulit, no? I will set the quiz at 2:45 to 3 p.m. Okay? It's a 10-item post quiz. Okay? So you still have 45 minutes to review. Okay? So thank you for your kind attention.
Thank you.
Okay, bye everyone.
Thank you po.